What is going on, peeps? Okay, so look, we're in the weekend, and we are all preparing for what we expect to happen next week, and that is, will our boy Al Kazami or Al Kademi, I'm not sure, but I was told it's pronounced with a D and not a Z. Anyways, will he make it in there? Will he finally become the PM that we've been waiting for? Will his cabinet get voted in? Will his government make it? We'll see. But for now, let's get out all of the unnecessaries. First and foremost is a disclaimer. I am not an attorney, a tax advisor, or a financial advisor. Please consult with real professionals. The following is my opinion and my opinion only based on my own research. I will share the information I find with you and encourage you to read or listen to the information so that you could form your own opinion. All right. And please, as a reminder, if you haven't already, please like and share this video whenever you feel like it. You don't need to ask my permission. A lot of times people are asking me permission to share my videos. You don't need to ask. Feel free to do so. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel out. I have gotten it down to 41% of the people who view my videos are non-subscribers. I like to get that lower if possible. It keeps me from having to charge for this information, okay, you guys? Unlike the other people that are out there. A quick reminder that I have a Facebook group with the same name as my YouTube channel. That is Pimpy's Investment Chat. I will leave a link in the description and encourage you guys to come join us. It's for free. In here we talk about everything from the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnam Dong, the Zim Dollar, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, Nasera, Jacera, you name it. It is talked about in here. So please come on in. You can post questions in there. There are a lot of knowledgeable people who'd be more than happy to answer your questions if I can't get to them myself personally. All right, so what has happened? We know that the auctions still continue to go. And as a matter of fact, on Thursday was the last one. And what happened on Thursday, because I didn't talk about it, but let's take a peek. We can see that they're still not giving up the physical cash, but they're selling off 165,486,216 of the dollars generated from oil revenue. All right, so the auctions continue to go, and the purpose of the auctions is to stabilize the Iraqi dinar rate. Okay, so what else is going on? Iraq, for the first time, achieves real financial deficit of 4.3 trillion dinars during the government of Mahdi, after increasing spending to 111.7 trillion dinars. So what does that mean? How does that affect now? Well, let's find out. The spending of Mahdi government increased during the year 2019 by about 31 trillion dinars, a record, a total budget of 111.7 trillion dinars compared to the year 2018, which reached a budget of 88.8 trillion dinars for the first time. Iraq has achieved the real physical deficit of 4.3 trillion dinars. Well, we know what can help with that. We talk about it all the time. Change the rate. Change the rate. Anyways, I did come across some interesting reports that I'm going to share with you. Some of them are a little bit older, but do touch bases on what Dr. Shabibi felt about its policies with the IMF and, his conflicts between him and the current president, Salih. Okay, but I will cover that a little bit later, but let's continue on. The Econ News got 2 documents issued by the Ministry of Finance showing that the financial budget for the Iraq during the years of 2018-2019 and the operating spending of the Iraqi state appears in 2019 to 87.3 trillion dinars, after it was in the year 2018 more than 97 trillion dinars. The share of the investment budget increased by 24.4 trillion dinars. Okay, so basically what they're saying is, look, their budget's getting bigger. Again, I can't stress this enough. We know that Iraq cannot continue to survive, function on just living off of the revenue generated by oil. They need other sources of income. 95% of their budget revenue comes from oil. And I said this before it even happened. I told you, look, this is not a good situation. That if they continue to just live off oil, that if any major event should come along whatsoever and throw off the oil prices, it would devastate Iraq. I was not wrong. Enter the coronavirus. The coronavirus, and not to mention, in addition to that, the so-called oil war between Saudi Arabia and Russia, causing oil to drop down to prices we've never seen before. Congratulations. I've actually had people post to my group where gas was down below $1 in a lot of states. Well, I live in California. It's been liberal possessed for more than 5 decades, with one exception of when Arnold Schwarzenegger got in there and then was gone. Other than that, it's been under the control of the same 5 families for a long time. They taxed the bejeebus out of us. Believe it or not, we got excited when gas dropped below $3. I kid you not. We're like, yeah, dancing around in the streets until I started seeing people post in my group that they had gas below $1. Oh my God. They have taxed the bejeebus out of our gas over here in California. We just suffer. We really do. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Look, we know already about this. We know their budget is taking a hit. We know Iraq is taking a hit. We know their GDP is taking a hit. But they're not the only people around the world this has happened. But Iraq is bigger and has a bigger impact only because of the fact that they do not have an established government. Okay, but anyways, let's get past this. Let's get in on what's going on in the news today. So our boy Al-Kazemi, it looks like he's going to pass. Look, I've read all kinds of articles from different newspapers talking about him. It looks like all the different voting blocks are going to go ahead and pass him. They went in there and he's made the alterations necessary to get into candidates that certain voting factions like. Okay, as you guys know, I've been against this. At first I was hoping they would get Al-Kazemi in there. It's Al-Kazemi. Anyways, to get him in there as prime minister and get an established government. But there's a huge part of me that's past this. I've voiced this opinion on all my videos. I think it's better if they dissolve the parliament and just do away altogether with the Iranian influence that's in there. The largest voting bloc of the parliament is backed by Iranian puppets, okay? And I don't think it's going to do the Iranian people or Iraqi people any good. And we're going to find that out. So I have a feeling, looks like our boy Al-Kazemi is going to make it. It looks like he is going to be in there. It looks like he's going to be voted into office along with his cabinet. Okay, so once his cabinet is voted in, he is voted in, he has already put out the curriculum, he already knows what he's getting ready to do, but ironically, one of the things he wants to do right away is investigate the corruption within the parliament. This is one of the biggest fears that the people in the parliament had with when Alawi was going to be the prime minister, but they turned him down. And when our boy Zarfi was going to be the PM, and then they turned him down. It just so happens that the Constitution of Iraq, Article 76, says if they turn down this current nomination as PM, then that means it gives the president of Iraq the right to dissolve the parliament, which is what I want to happen, but it takes away the Iranian back puppets' power altogether. Okay, so it looks like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and allow this passage to happen. I'm sure they're making all kinds of offers and bribes to keep this PM from investigating them. But anyways, it goes on here. Halabasi and his people and his coalition, even Sauder's people, we're seeing in here, are saying, look, we're all going to be present. We are all going to be ready next week to go ahead and vote in Al-Kazemi. So we'll see. Al-Kazemi. So we will definitely see, but it looks like our boy is about to make it in there. Now, people are going, well, what does this mean? What does this mean to the Iraqi dinar? Well, what we're looking for is stability in here. Although I don't believe this government has anything to do with whether or not the rate change gets changed. But we do know that the UN and the IMF work in tangent with one another, and they are the people that's going to pull the trigger on this deal. And the UN has had their main lady, Janine Blaskar, I believe is how you pronounce her name, has been going into Iraq a lot over the past year. And she's saying because they don't have any stability in there, is what's keeping them in Chapter 7. So in order for the restrictions on their currency to be removed, there needs to be some type of stability. So having a PM in there along with this cabinet is going to lend a lot to stability is what's going on there in Iraq. And hopefully the UN will remove the restrictions and we will see the IQD on the Forex. And once it starts trading, I believe a lot of speculators are going to jump all over that currency, causing the exchange rate to jump up. But we need it recognized internationally in order for us to go down to the bank and make our deposit. We will see shortly. It's already May the 2nd. It is not that far away. Okay, so the Kurdistan's government in the process of announcing plans to support the local industry. So look, the Ministry of Trade in Kurdistan's region government of Iraq announced on Saturday that the process of announcing plans to support the local industries. Okay, so look, the Kurdistans want to make sure that they get theirs too. We already know this. They send down a group of delegates down there to talk to the prime designate to make sure that they honor their version of the Constitution and make sure that they get their money for their oil. Okay, so look, they're just making sure that their people are being supported and that they're getting the money that they deserve. Okay, so but for now, there's not a whole lot going on. We already knew this. We know that Kazemi has been working very hard to get his people looked at and approved. It looks like the parliament source Al-Habasi instructed the MPs to be in Baghdad next Monday. So if they're there by next Monday, although we were told that this is going to happen on Thursday, it switched to Tuesday, back to a Sunday, back to a Tuesday. So it looks like they're saying Monday. We will know for sure next week whether or not Al-Kademi is the new PM and whether or not his cabinet that he has selected will now be the new government of Iraq. All right. Again, there's a huge part of me hoping that it doesn't happen, but I'm just biased. I just want great things for the Iraqi people. Don't get me wrong. I do want my currency to revalue so that it would benefit me financially. But to be quite honest, look, I've read a lot of articles that are not related to the dinar, not related to all these politics. But just when I realized the amount of suffering that's going on in Iraq, as well as local countries such as Yemen, do you know they still have slavery down there? You need to Google it. They literally are auctioning off people in slave trade. To this is 2020, people. 2020 and slavery is still going on. Lebanon, Yemen, Syria, they kidnap these people and sell them on open slave auctions. This is unbelievable. Anyways, I just really feel sad for the people because they have a lot of the richest nations. There's a lot of oil nations there, and their people are suffering and being sold into slavery. That's just sick to think about. Anyways, for 2020, you would think by now that there's no such thing as slavery, but I was way wrong. You could Google it and look up yourself. But anyways, let's start with Iraq. Let's get them sovereign. Let's get them independent. Let's get them rocking and rolling. Let's get them, hey, look, let's get them people feeling secure so outside investors will come in and start developing and helping with the infrastructure of Iraq so the Iraqi people will benefit and indirectly will benefit our currency as well. Anyways, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps out the channel and I surely do appreciate it. I want to thank you for your time and you have a good one. Bye-bye.